We've all seen crazy bride movies in the past, but would you believe us if we said we have real-life newlywed bride gone crazy stories in store for you? Well, if you are someone who loves murder stories, you've clicked on the right video. Call to action. This story is about 25-year-old Cody Johnson and his 22-year-old wife, Linn Graham. Cody and Jordan had been in a relationship for about a year and got married soon after in June of 2013. Friends and family of the couple stated that Cody was head over heels for Jordan, but Jordan didn't seem to reciprocate the feelings. She was very distant throughout the relationship and said she didn't want to engage in sexual intercourse with him before marriage as she was very religious. Cody became religious after he met Jordan and they both began attending church together. Friends told the police that they never saw them kiss or hold hands or be intimate with each other in any way. According to Cody's friend, Cameron Fredrickson, Jordan seemed distant and aloof in their relationship. Cody tried to spend as much time as he could with her, but Jordan didn't seem to want him around or to meet his family and avoided him by making excuses. Cody proposed to Jordan a year after dating, even though his friends had doubts about Jordan. They had told him to think it through and reconsider before going ahead with the proposal, but Cody was sure about his decision to marry her and start a family. Jordan's friends had thought that she would not accept his proposal because she did not really seem to be in love with him, so when they heard about their engagement, it came as a huge shock. After accepting his proposal, Jordan posted on social media a picture of her ring and wrote, "He proposed." Jordan's maid of honor, Katrina Martinez, told reporters that Jordan was dreading her wedding day. She seemed excited, but not about marrying Cody. She was more excited about the wedding part of it, the planning and the party. She said that throughout the planning process, she constantly asked Martinez if she had made the right decision by agreeing to marry him. She even said that every time Jordan was asked how she felt about marrying Cody, she would get uncomfortable and change the topic. On the day of the wedding, Katrina said Jordan got cold feet and was not ready to marry. She thought that this behavior was normal and that everybody gets cold feet and has doubts at the last moments, and these doubts don't amount to anything. But even at the time of the wedding, the matron of honor noticed that Jordan's behavior was completely out of place. She didn't even look at Cody once. She wasn't smiling and was very awkward. She was either looking at the priest or the ground. She did not seem happy or excited, unlike Cody. After the wedding, the newlywed bride texted her maid of honor saying that she should be happy, but she's just not. Cody's friend said that Cody had told them it felt like he was on cloud 9 and he was the happiest he had ever been, and that he was on a high because he had just married the love of his life. Jordan, on the other hand, was freaking out about the wedding night and told her friend that she would make an excuse saying that she was on her period so that she would not have to consummate their marriage. Later, when Katrina was asked if she thinks they ever had sex and consummated their marriage, she said that she didn't think so, because over the next days, Jordan constantly texted her saying that he wants her to do things to make him happy, but that she could just not do it. She told Katrina every time she thinks of having sex with him, it made her feel ill. On July 8, 2013, Cody's family and friends reported him missing after they hadn't heard from him for 24 hours and he had not shown up for work. His mother said that this was very unusual because Cody always loved his work and always showed up. When Jordan was asked by Cody's family if she knew where he was, she said she didn't and that he had been gone for a day with his friends from out of town. At first, she said she didn't know where they had gone. Later, she told the police that she thinks they might have gone to Glacier National Park because that's where he always takes his friends. During the entire time, everyone was shocked to see the way she was behaving. She did not seem fazed by everything happening and was unmoved about the fact that her new husband had gone missing. When she was asked about her surprising behavior, she got extremely angry and took off of her ring and threw it across the room. A few days later, after Cody had been named missing and flyers of him missing were being distributed, while Jordan was with her friends, she told them that she had just received an email from someone named Tony S. saying that Cody was dead. The email said that Cody had fallen off a cliff at Glacier National Park and they should end the search. Jordan and her friends went to the police where she showed them the email and told them that she knew where Cody was. She took them to Glacier National Park and showed them a cliff and said that that's where she thought Cody would be through a spiritual message. She knew exactly where to take her friends Amy, Hannah, Cecilia, and Michael, Cody's 16-year-old brother. Those who were with her in the car on the way to the park said that she was behaving strangely for someone who was on the way to find her dead husband. Her behavior was completely unusual. She was singing and making jokes and often waving her arms outside of the window of the car. She then stopped at Glacier National Park and took them to the loop and knew exactly where to go through the steep incline of the gorge and suddenly said out loud, "Oh my gosh, it's him." After seeing Cody's battered and lifeless body floating in the river face down, Cody's brother Michael crawled back into the car, crying and completely in shock. While all of her friends were freaking out and calling the police, Jordan seemed strangely calm. On their way back home, she kept talking about how they should quickly make arrangements for the funeral and get this over with so that the cops could be put out of the entire situation. The police found Cody's body at the bottom of a valley in Glacier National Park near Kalispell in Montana. They discovered it on July 12, 2014 from a helicopter in the cliffs of Loop Trail. When investigators asked Jordan about why and how she knew exactly where Cody's body was, she told them that she had a feeling that he was there and that God was guiding her. She said that Cody always took her there and that it was his favorite spot. It was the one place he wanted her to see before he died. This is when investigators got suspicious of Jordan because she had changed her stories a couple of times and each of them was inconsistent and had missing pieces. They gathered evidence against her and showed it to Jordan. She had told the police that she wasn't with him at the national park and that he had gone there with his friends, but the police found camera surveillance footage of her at the park with Jordan. They were both spotted once in Cody's car together and once after walking in the park. They then found out that the IP address of the email that Jordan had received from Tony S. was sent from her stepfather's home computer and that they were sure that Jordan had sent it herself. When Jordan saw the damning evidence that the investigators had against her, she confessed immediately to the murder of her husband, Cody Johnson. She said that she took him there to surprise him and that she lured him to the area, blindfolded him, and she pushed him off the cliff accidentally. She told the police that they hadn't been fighting, but the text on Cody and Jordan's phones to their friends seemed to tell otherwise. Graham had texted her friends on July 7, 2013, saying that she was having second thoughts about the marriage and had planned to tell him about it. She told the FBI that their argument got heated and Cody grabbed her by the arm, and at that moment she was so angry at him that she threw him off the cliff. Both of his hands were behind his back, because of which he fell face first and suffered injuries on both arms and his head. After Cody fell off the cliff, Graham did not check to see if he was alive. She simply drove back home in his car and did not tell anyone about what had occurred. The cops arrested Jordan on the account of first-degree murder and making a false statement to the authorities after they realized that the murder was planned all along and that it was deliberate and not an accident. Jordan Graham pleaded not guilty. Michael Donahoe contended that in the sentencing document, the prosecution suggested that she killed her spouse on purpose. However, Jordan altered her plea to guilty moments before closing statements, accepting a plea agreement for second-degree murder. A 30-year jail term was handed down to her on March 27th by U.S. District Judge Donald Malloy. Friends and family of the newlywed couple were extremely shocked after the entire incidents and could not believe that Jordan, who had always been a goofball, would be ever capable of such an act. Cody Johnson will always be remembered by his loved ones as a kind and loving son, husband, brother, and friend. So what are your thoughts about this story? Do you think that Jordan killing her husband was at all justified? Let us know what you think in the comments down below and press the like button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you again next time.